REED-BBS, Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies, Televisión. So I've been avoiding this one for a minute, been pushing it back because we had big fights and intriguing fights and whatnot. But now we're getting to a slow part of the boxing weekend, the boxing schedule, I should say, holistically. And it's time for me to get into Pernell Sweet Pea Whittaker. The passing of Pernell Sweet Pea Whittaker, man. He's part of the fabric. He's one of the pillars. He's at the foundation of my own personal boxing fandom. For me, the building blocks are Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones, and Pernell Sweet Pea Whittaker. And that said, Pernell Sweet Pea Whittaker predates Roy Jones on my list. So, you know, when he died, I heard he was struck by a car, which is tragic, age of 55. You know, I kind of pulled back. I just kind of, people react differently to death. I was kind of like, okay, everybody else is going to do their thing. I'm still gathering my thoughts and whatnot. And I mean, here we go, man. He was 40 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 17 KOs. Not the most impressive record on paper, but I'm hoping by the end of this podcast, you'll have a better and greater appreciation of Pernell Sweet Pea Whittaker, because he was beyond his numbers and statistics. He was well beyond that. 5'6" Southpaw, 4-weight world champion. His best weight, prime 135, where he was undisputed champion. Won weights at 35, 40, 47, and picked up one at 54. Again, man, he's right there on my list. Like the Mount Rushmore, it's only 4 heads on Mount Rushmore, and for me, that's it. So now Ali's died, and now Sweet Pea's gone. Sugar Ray and Roy, like, hey, that's pretty much all I got left. That's all I got left, man. Sweet Pea gone. Damn, Sweet Pea. I believe the date was July 14th. He was 55 years of age. My earliest remembrances of Pernell Whittaker started with the 84 U.S. Olympic trials. So, I'm a preteen or barely a teen, 12 or 13 at the time, whatever. Back in that day, you saw the Olympic boxing trials on regular TV. I'm talking NBC, ABC, CBS, whatever network it was. You would see the Olympic trials. So names like Mark Breland, Meldrick Taylor, Evander Holyfield, Frank Tate, Virgil Hill, Pernell Whittaker, just from the 84 team, those names were virtually household names before they even got to the Olympics. Just qualifying for the Olympic team, we would see you fight 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then they'd make you fight again against the guy who gave you your toughest bout. That's what the box offs were back then. Anyway, Pernell Whittaker, from the moment I first laid eyes on him, he was spectacular. He was clearly in a class full of elite level dudes. He was that dude. Max Kellerman said it best. Pernell Whittaker was your favorite fighter's favorite fighter, more than likely. He was your favorite fighter's favorite fighter, probably. And on that Olympic team, all the Olympic guys, they was on Pernell's nuts. That's how good he was. Gold medal, that was nothing. He attacked when he needed to attack. He moved gracefully if he had to. I'm talking radar-like defense. He was doing like almost basketball type moves and making dudes look silly, just almost like crossovers, how you make a dude trip over himself just off of a movement. That was the type of shit Pernell Whittaker would do. He'd get real low sometimes, he'd be like dancing, almost get real low. A lot of people didn't like it, but the antics, especially the brothers, like, he fought like brothers. He had that swag about him. That's just who he was from Virginia. I believe Portsmouth, Virginia, somewhere in Virginia. up there where like Allen Iverson and Michael Vick and all of them guys came from. Same general vicinity. Pernell, though, he was a pure counterpuncher, but he counterpunched with attitude. And you talk about a pull counter, as impressive as Floyd's pull counter is, Sweet Pea's Southpaw pull counter, what? Man, he countered you like he was offended that you even thought you saw an opening and tried to take it. So he was gonna pull counter the shit out your ass. What? And make you regret. And he would kind of shut dudes down offensively in that way. Roger Mayweather, Jose Luis Ramirez, Greg Haugen, Azuma Nelson, Buddy McGirt, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad. There's 10 or 12 other legit names I could rattle off, but they weren't quite household names. And knowing that I'm dealing with Sweet Pea and a younger fan base is watching this video, you know, I won't even go into those names, but just know